2, 3.
Test.
Testing. Check.
Very good. Okay. Pride, South Side, how y'all doing?
What's up?
My name is Ace.
And I am beautiful.
And we are together real bad. So we have Stefanie Clark today.
Yes.
And she just told me a little bit about her story, but I'm gonna let her tell it, and then we'll get into a few questions. So, Stefanie, please take it away.
Okay, my name is Stefanie Clark. I used to be known as Stephen P. Clark. I knew I was different from age 3. I started dressing when I was 12. My mother caught her in her underwear. When I was 14, she told me to stop. I couldn't, I didn't.
Period.
I stayed in the closet for 60 years. About halfway through college, I met my wife. She knew my dressing, didn't support it, but she was at my side literally for 44 years.
Amazing.
She died on June 11th, 2011, and her death gave me life. I came out the next day after she died.
That's amazing.
Yes.
It's a great love story.
Oh my God, it really is. That's an amazing story.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. I guess we'll kind of dive right into. Can you share a pivotal moment in your advocacy? Because you are an advocate, a model. What else did you want to say?
A storyteller.
More importantly, I'm a Renaissance. More importantly, I'm a Renaissance woman.
A Renaissance
constantly looking for knowledge.
I love it.
And then taking that knowledge, in for me,
Yeah.
giving back to the people.
Yes.
I love it. Can you share a pivotal moment in your advocacy work that had a significant impact on you?
It actually straddles almost 2 years. I was working with the AIDS Foundation and Kim Hunt, and we were doing legislative work. The first bills I touched in 2011, I touched 4 bills, and they all became law.
Oh, wow.
The next year, I only touched 2, but it became law.
Love it.
That was for the LGBT aging health disparities bill.
Okay.
And then last year, I was appointed to the Governor's Council to implement that law. So that is a round trip.
Yeah.
I love it.
For sure.
It does take 2.5 years.
Oh, we have time. Don't worry about it. You have plenty of time, too.
Okay.
Plenty.
Question for you. What advice would you give to young transgender individuals struggling with their identity?
Stressing what?
What advice would you give transgender individuals struggling with their identity?
Hold your head high.
Oh, period.
Know you can't do anything wrong.
Yes.
And just kick ass.
Yes. I love that.
That's an 81-year-old talking.
And you don't look it.
At all. Not at all. Okay, so being that you're busy and you do advocate work and you're a Renaissance woman, are there any projects or events or anything you want to make known that you have coming up? Anything exciting?
Well, I'm working with Malaya, who's in the audience, I think. We do the Fashion Week at Water Tower Place. So we run fashion shows.
Okay.
And our models are all transgender and non-binary models.
I love that.
It'll be April and October, so it's like October 12th, midnight. But we will publish it. But it's just so wonderful. Modeling was not something that I was interested in. I was just trying to live.
Yeah.
And I lost my roommate. We'd been together for like 3 years.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, I'm living alone, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I started meditating, which has been key. I never meditated before.
Okay.
And my meditation about day 81 was, you can do anything you want to do.
Oh, I love it.
And I said, I want to be a runway model. So I called my friend who runs the fashion bar, and I said, I want to walk one runway. He said, be at Water Tower Place next Wednesday at 1 o'clock. I get there, the door's locked, and I know somebody's family. About 5 minutes later, they came out, and they're unlocking the door, and they let me in, and they said, you're not what we expected. I was bent over, having a cane, and 80 years old. And I says, is that good or bad? And she says, I don't know. But Tony Long, who's the creator and artistic director for Fashion Bar, says, okay, here's what I was trying to figure out. He asked, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't know. He said, never mind. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to walk 2 shows, at least one in a wedding dress, and you're going to talk at the P-Flag conference, and that's a start. And then if you really like it, then you can do some more. In the next 23 months, I walked 11 shows.
Come on.
20 runways.
Come on.
Oh, honey, it gets better. 3 wedding dresses.
Period.
2 of them designed just for me.
Just for you?
Yeah, I went in for the woman, but I got the dress. And then of the 20 runways, I closed 6. And by this past year, I have now a crowd that comes. I'm part of the Howard Brown, the Remain Great Council, which supports that particular thing. And they come and support the show, but they're in the audience. It's a real live New York fashion show.
Wow.
Yeah, in Chicago.
And the minute I step out on the stage, it's such an ego trip. People start clapping.
Yes. Yes.
And then last May, I didn't do the show last May because I'd hurt my leg, and I thought, okay, time to retire. I'm going to go out on top. So I didn't walk the show, but I went and supported him. And then a couple of weeks ago, I got a call from I'm a clothing designer too. Got a call from my designer, and he said, will you please come to walk the show in May, like June 6th or something like that, 401 Michigan. And I reluctantly went, but I mean, we're all friends, so you gotta support everybody.
Yeah.
So I got there, and I was one of the last people to go out on the runway. And Tony starts introducing me to the stage, how we come along. He helped me with my domain name, which is the only Stefanie Clark.
Okay, the only Stefanie Clark.
Clark.com.
I used to say I was the most visible 79-year-old runway model. I humbly said in the Midwest. And then when the domain name came down, the only Stefanie Clark, I changed it to the United States.
Oh,
so I am humble.
I love that. So you're inspiring everybody.
A generation.
Like doing what you want to do.
I walk with 7-year-olds on the runway. That's when I know I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Yes.
7-year-olds, and these are queer.
Yeah, well, or queer. At 7, they're probably questioning.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're just nice kids.
Yeah.
And it's when you can just give them some light, shine of light, anything I can do. One time there was one of my designers made this beautiful dress for me, and it was all kind of green and dark, and it was so pretty. Every time I wear it on Michigan Avenue, the black ladies come up and say, "Where did you get that dress?" It was sourced out of Kenya, Africa. So I mean, I can.
Beautiful, I'm sure.
I'm sure it was.
I'm sure it's so
But anyhow,
beautiful.
so after the show, she said, as we're closing the show, walking back off the stage, she said, I'm a school teacher for pay, and I have kids in my class that are gender questioning. And okay, I'll tell you what, if you get permission from the school, I will come down and talk to your kids. Well, as it turned out, they have an affinity group, and 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. I believe there were about 20 kids.
Okay.
And what I didn't tell the designer was I wore the dress down there, so they didn't know she was a designer, clothing designer.
Yeah.
It's when you can do things like that. And then, anyhow, I talked to the kids for like 40 minutes, and we got all said and done. They all came up and hugged me. That's how I know.
Yes.
That you're doing something right.
One of the things I say, especially I've done over 50 public speaking engagements, talking on gender and equality.
Yeah.
And I always start thinking out is how many of you have intentionally shaken the hands of a transgender person? Operative word, intentionally.
Yes.
And half the audience will, raise their hand, the other guy. And I said, okay, before we're done tonight,
You need to be shaking
Shaking
hands.
hands.
And they all
Shaking
come and
hands,
give me
kissing babies.
and that's when you know you've been accepted.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Okay,
I
so
love
we have about 4 minutes left, and so we have some questions for you. They're just fun questions.
go ahead.
There's about 5 or 6 of them. The first one is, if you could go on any date with a celebrity, who would it be? Old, new.
Oh, I'm I'm binge watching Suits.
that. Okay.
Oh yes, I started watching that.
The princess.
Yes, yes. Oh yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes. Megan, what's her name? What's her
Meghan
name?
Markle.
Meghan Markle.
Meghan
Yes.
Markle.
Okay, got it. What is the most spontaneous thing you've ever done?
Stepping out on the stage. That is like jumping off a 14-story building
I can imagine.
and hoping you get down all right.
Okay, if your love life had a theme song, what would it be?
Stefanie hasn't had a love life.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay.
But I am still looking.
Still looking.
Period. Still looking.
Still looking.
Still looking, y'all. Okay. In 3 words or less, what's the best dating advice you can give?
What?
Dating advice you can give.
Treat this person with respect.
I love it.
Show them love and
Unconditional.
hold them dearly.
Yes. Okay, and the last question is, and when you answer, you're gonna look right into this camera. In one word, what does the right to pride mean to you? One word.
Acceptance.
I love it.
That one. Acceptance is a really good.
Period.
We all want to feel accepted.
Period. Thank you so much for joining us, Stephanie.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. Thank you. Absolutely. Yes.
Great. Give her a hand for us, please.
Period.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie. You got it?
We will learn to follow you guys. This is the part of town.